Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking powerful psychological principles and turning them into a highly actionable playbook. We're going to look at exactly how to command respect in literally any room you walk into. Let's get right into it.
Have you ever wondered why some people just effortlessly command respect the second they walk in, while others, well, they just kind of get ignored or constantly talked over? It's a fascinating dynamic. And right off the bat, you gotta know, it's not about your looks, and it's definitely not about your bank account. It is entirely about psychology.
So the crucial point we have to shatter right now is this giant myth that respect is only earned over a long period of time. Not true. The reality, people decide exactly how they're going to treat you within mere seconds of meeting you. If you don't actively control that first impression, you've lost the respect before you've even say a word. The stakes are really that high.
Here's the roadmap for our practical guide today. We'll cover the instant respect reality, then the 4 psychological rules. Next, we hit the practice lab with 3 role plays: handling the interrupter, setting firm boundaries, and making an entrance. Finally, we'll wrap up with the ultimate respect mindset.
Part 1. The instant respect reality. The critical first seconds.
Okay, Part 2. The 4 psychological rules. Building your respect toolkit.
Okay, let's dive into this. Since we know those opening moments dictate everything, we need to add some heavy-hitting psychological tools to your communication belt. Trick number 1 is built entirely on the scarcity effect. In psychology, this tells us that things that are rare are automatically seen as more valuable, right? Well, the same goes for your words. People who talk way too much or constantly over-explain themselves, they just end up looking insecure. It's like they're trying too hard. But speaking less, that makes you look incredibly powerful. So instead of a whole barrage of words, just pause, think, and speak directly. That scarcity literally makes people lean in to hear you.
Now, trick 2 is an absolute favorite of mine. You've got to master the power of silence to create pressure and control. Let's be real for a second. Silence is super uncomfortable for most of us, and honestly, that's exactly why it works like a charm. Confident people don't anxiously chase conversations. They dictate the rhythm. When you finish making a point, do not rush to fill that gap. Let the silence sit. See how that feels? That deliberate pause creates this subtle, almost invisible social pressure, and it automatically forces people to take what you just said way more seriously.
Moving on to trick 3, setting boundaries without fear. Look, if you say yes to absolutely everything, people are going to stop respecting you. It is really that simple. Respect inherently stems from limits. You have to get comfortable using phrases like, "I'm not okay with that," or "I'll get back to you," or even just a simple, "not right now." Notice the delivery there? No anger and zero over-explanation. Just calm, collected confidence. The very second you start respecting your own time, everyone else is forced to do the exact same.
And this brilliantly illustrates trick 4, which is all about body language. Fast, jerky, frantic movements, they project pure anxiety. But calm, deliberate movements project supreme confidence. Think about it. Before you even open your mouth, your body is already doing the talking. Holding strong eye contact, standing up straight, and moving slowly, it literally tells the whole room that you know your worth.
Which brings us to Part 3, our first role play. Handling the interrupter. The practice lab officially begins. I want you to picture this vividly in your mind. You're making a fantastic point, and boom! Someone abruptly cuts you off mid-sentence. Let's walk directly through the steps to handle this like a pro. Step 1 is the trigger, the interruption itself. Step 2 is your action. Now, most people's instinct is to talk louder or rush to finish their thought. Don't do that. Instead, you stop, you pause, and you just look directly at them in total silence. Step 3 is the result. Letting that silence just hang there automatically shifts an immense amount of pressure onto the interrupter. It effortlessly reestablishes your control over the entire room.
Moving right along to Part 4, role play, setting firm boundaries, protecting your time and energy.
So imagine someone asks you for a favor that you really, genuinely do not want to do. Here's your exact playbook. Step 1 is the ask, a direct demand on your time. Step 2 is your action. You look them in the eye and say, "Not right now." And you do it with absolutely zero over-explaining. No rambling, apologetic speech about how slammed your week is, just "not right now." Step 3 is the result. Delivering that boundary without fear, without that desperate need to please them, and without any anger, that is the exact mechanism that forces people to respect your limits.
Part 5. Role play. Making an entrance. Navigating physical space confidently.
Let's move to the final scenario and see how this builds on our body language rule.
You are physically walking into a brand new room full of people. Step 1, the entrance. You walk in. Step 2, the posture. You stand perfectly straight, you make sure your movements are nice and slow, and you maintain a comfortable, easy eye contact with the room. Step 3, the message. Remember, your body talks before your mouth does. Those calm physical movements are the ultimate display of confidence. You're essentially non-verbally screaming to everyone, "I know my worth."
And finally, part 6, the ultimate respect mindset. It's about valuing yourself.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is it brings us to a somewhat harsh truth as we wrap up this practical guide. People do not respect you simply because you're nice. It all boils down to this one core philosophical takeaway. The moment you stop chasing approval, respect starts chasing you. All these psychological tricks we've covered, the silence, the firm boundaries, the slow, deliberate movements, they all completely rely on a foundation of self-worth. You have to genuinely value yourself enough to stop desperately chasing the room's approval.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative question to close out today's explainer. Will you stop chasing approval and start commanding respect in your very next interaction? You've got the psychology down, you have the playbook in hand, and now it's time to put it to the test out in the wild. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive today.